Hi there! So you clicked onto this video because you're probably planning or you're off to your first ever cruise experience and you want to find out all the tips, tricks, and inspiration from someone who recently experienced a cruise for the first time as well. So if that's the case, you're in the right video and you're in the right channel because my husband and I just experienced our first ever cruise via Carnival Conquest. Before I give you all the details, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you can get notified every time we have a new video. All right, so let's dive right in. So here are the top 20 tips for a first-time cruiser. Number 1, please book and plan your cruise in advance. Okay, that's the biggest learning that we have experienced firsthand because a little bit of a background, we decided to go on a cruise 2 weeks before the ship actually sailed. Yeah, it's kind of random for us. It was because it's the Thanksgiving week and we're like, okay, what are we gonna do for Thanksgiving? My husband and I, we don't have a huge family here in Massachusetts. Most of them are in the Philippines or also in the West Coast. And this year, we decided not to have a big Thanksgiving celebration with the family. And we're like, okay, ano pwede natin gawin? So we realized that, you know what, it's long been in our bucket list going into a cruise. And as a country ticker myself, I haven't visited the Bahamas or the Caribbean just yet. And we're like, okay, this is probably the best time to do it. So we randomly did a quick research and we found the best options when it comes to first time cruise experience and we just booked it. But if you have an opportunity to book earlier and to plan ahead, please do so. So 1, you won't have to be rushed. 2, you can take advantage of all possible deals. And 3, you can save because if you book earlier, you can, well, relatively speaking, you can save a little bit more. Just a quick background, when we booked ours, it's for the Thanksgiving week. It's for a 4-night, 5-day cruise from Miami to the Bahamas, 2 stops in the Bahamas Island. We spent $1,700. That's already for the both of us in a stateroom with a balcony. And then we decided to avail of the beverage package, so that's an extra $800 and a few other incidentals that was around $100. That's for the prepaid gratuity. So in all, it's like a total of $2,300 for me and my husband. Tip number 2 is to research and to check all your possible cruise options based on your vacation style, based on your preferences, based on your must-haves or nice-to-haves or your non-negotiables when it comes to spending your vacation or even the schedule or the days that you have. And based on what we've seen, there are 5 best, in our view, based on the research that we've done, 5 best cruise providers. So there's Carnival, there's Royal Caribbean, there's Disney, there's Norwegian, and there's Virgin Voyages. But again, it all depends on what's your style like or your current situation, whether you're single or you're a couple or you're traveling with a family. So it plays a very important role when it comes to deciding which cruise is the right one for you. So check all the the offerings, the amenities, the types of experiences, the number of days, and the inclusions, the exclusions, as well as the promos or the deals that they may have. So you can choose the best one that fits your needs and fits your style. Tip number 3 is to avail of packages and excursions before sailing. Okay, so because after you book, you're like, okay, we'll probably just wing it. When we're there, we'll figure things out. But we've realized that we've saved a lot of time and also money when we decided to just book our excursions ahead, as well as our beverage package. Because you won't have to think about all those things when you're already there, and it is relatively cheaper if you book them before the actual sailing happens. But again, quick warning, it depends on your style and your needs, and then, like for example, for the beverage package, in our experience, it's like matalino ang Carnival. You can't share, okay? If your roommates, if you're sharing a stateroom, if one books a beverage package, the other one won't have any other choice but to also book a beverage package. So it's a given, it's a ×2 already. And then you can have 25 drinks per day as a maximum. So sa amin, parang tig 25 kami, so we're like 50 drinks in a day. And each drink, if you don't go for a beverage package, will cost you around, $12 to $15. The standard cocktail, for example. So on day 3 or 4, we looked at how much we have actually, ordered when it comes to the drinks, and we realized that we are far from 25 drinks per day. So, lesson learned for us, considering that we're not big drinkers anymore. Probably when we were like 18 or 21, we drank more. We were more party people. Then it could have been great for us, but this time around, no. We probably averaged 10 to 12 drinks per day. Hindi na ganun kadami. So next time, we're not gonna avail of the drink package anymore. But, if you're the type who would need the internet, go and book your internet package immediately, and your excursions. Like for example, for us, we booked the Adult Beach excursion at the Nassau Beach. And it was great because it was so convenient. Everything is literally there. They took us from the port of the Bahamas to that private island. And when we got there, we were just relaxed. We already had our bed, our umbrella, and the lunch was also included. So, there's less headache and less planning. And also gratuity. So that you won't have to do the tips. And say, for example, if you don't have cash, if it'll be too much of a hassle, the prepaid gratuity is actually great because you know that you're giving tips for those very hard-working staff members of the cruise without necessarily having to, have the hassle of carrying cash with you. Tip number 4 is to get to know your ship before boarding. Literally understand all the amenities, the location, where your stateroom is situated, what are the stuff that's close to it, because literally it's a huge ship, right? So if you have no idea walking into it on the first day, you'll be wasting a lot of time just figuring things out. So it's great to watch all the YouTube videos and read on. It's on every cruise ship's website. The type of ship that you'll be boarding, and then to familiarize yourself. So when you're there, it'll be relatively easier for you to navigate your way through it, as well as where your stateroom is situated. Big learning for us, our stateroom was in the middle. Because when we chose the stateroom, we're like, oh, siguro mas maganda na nasa gitna, so you can have the access to the front and the back of the ship, right? But one of our biggest takeaway is that if it's in the middle, it's close to all the elevators. And what does that mean? In the middle of the night or early morning, when people are, walking in or walking out of the elevator and like literally walking to their own staterooms, like literally, you will hear them. The walls are so thin, so you can like literally hear everyone when they're walking. So if you're bothered by that, then don't be on a stateroom that's close to the elevator. Tip number 5, plan your daily itinerary. So the good thing about the cruise is that they're offering a lot, like places, experiences. When you have your stopovers, you have all the excursions. If you don't plan your daily activities, you'll be wasting a lot of time as well. And you probably will not be able to take advantage of what they're offering because they're like literally a lot by the hour. There are programs, there are events, there are food offerings. So it's best for you to, based on the list that they will be providing, just, pre-select those that you're interested in. The beauty about Carnival Conquest is that they have an app that lists down on a daily basis what is like literally happening, and you can like literally click that heart button and put that as your I'm interested, or this is like one of the favorites or the lists that you would want to consider, joining or attending or experiencing. So consider doing that, because doing so will save you a little bit more time and will allow you to maximize your number of days while on the ship. Tip number 6, work out your pre-boarding schedule from the arrival to the port, to the embarkation, and the disembarkation. Some vloggers would tell you that it's best for you to arrive at the destination, like for example, in our case, it was in Miami, a day before, and then experience Miami probably, one day, and then go on your cruise ship the following day. For us, because of timing constraints as well, we took the flight from Boston 7 in the morning, and we arrive in Miami at 10:30. We can start going on board and schedule that. We scheduled hours at 12 noon. It was just right for us because we don't want to, experience Miami anyway, and not spend another hotel fee the night before. So we, that kind of worked out. But say for example, for us, the flight from Boston to Miami is like only 2.5 to 3 hours. It was relatively manageable. But if you're coming from the other coast, for example, then you might probably want to consider staying there the night before. So you can account for delays or any, any other unforeseen incidents or events. Tip number 7, make sure that you know how to pack the cruise style. What would be the needs to correctly and wisely have all the things that you will be needing on the cruise. So for example, when it comes to clothing, make sure you have your beach clothing, your casual clothing. They call it a cruise casual. It's like literally, comfortable clothes like shorts and shirt. And then they also like have these themed nights, and they have these formal nights as well, where you can get to meet the entire cruise officers, the night with the captain, and then like people are literally dressing up. Like the ladies are wearing like evening gowns, and there were guys who are like literally wearing formals. But for us, it's more like smart casual. That's what we've opted for. And also another thing to consider would be your gears, like the adapters, the cables, like as simple as, the clips for your towels, because in the cruise it's like very windy, or even when it comes to the beaches, and the towels are like literally flying all over. So you can get a lot of all those, beach clips from Amazon. It's really very helpful. And then have your tote bags that you can like literally bring in different places, and your waterproof or water resistant stuff that can help you when it comes to taking care of or bringing along your phone or your cameras, and then your slip-ons. Ano pa ba? yeah, all those beach and ship friendly stuff that you know that you'll be needing. Make sure that you have a list and bring them along with you. Another tip would be, if you can pack light, do pack light, because it helped us when it comes to the checking in and the checking out. We didn't have to check in big suitcases or luggage, because when we boarded the JetBlue flight, we didn't want to check in our baggage for reasons we're in, oh gosh, you know, the hassle of waiting or if there will be losses. And at the same time, when you go to the cruise ship, if you're carrying a bag that's like bigger than the cabin style, then of course you will be needing help to bring that onto your rooms, and then you have to check that in as well. So it will take a bit more time for your suitcases to arrive in your stateroom. So just consider that. If you can pack light, do pack light. Tip number 8, check out all included meals and drinks, where to find them, the schedule of the service, and what would be the peak time and the off-peak times. Okay, the truth about cruise ships is that, the cruise journey or the vacation is that, yes, the food is like overflowing. But the people, it's also overflowing. Like, be prepared to queue. Be prepared to see long lines. But what we've realized is that, of course, there are off-peak timing all the time. So know when, say for example, the buffet lines open for a certain buffet type of food, then if you want that, go early or go later. And also, there are other areas within the cruise that's not just the buffet style of meals. There are restaurants that's also, by the way, included on your food package. You just need to make reservations and you're gonna be all set. So for example, in certain days we're in, okay, you don't want to queue up, you're not craving for big meals, then consider the a la carte style of dining, because there are a lot of options there as well. And then for the bar, same thing. There are really places where a lot of people are hanging out there, but there are also other lounges or quieter bars that you can just literally grab your drink from and then carry your drink somewhere. So, be wise when it comes to planning and checking where you can, have the most seamless kind of experience when it comes to food and drinks. Number 9, ask if the offered food products or drinks are included or excluded. Because there are roving service crew members there who would be offering you, drinks that you think that, oh, I availed of the Cheers package, so I can get that. But no, they are so good when it comes to upselling. There are a lot of merchandise items as well, like tumblers with frozen margaritas in there, that apparently was okay, can I get that? And of course, after that, they're gonna hand you a bill that you need to sign. Apparently, it's not included on your beverage package. So make sure that you ask if it's free or if it's included or not included, so you're prepared and you wouldn't be caught off guard when they hand you the bill. Tip number 10, just be nice and be friendly and warm to all the crew members there. You would realize that they're working so damn hard, managing the expectations of more than 2,000 people. Literally at the Carnival Cruise, there are 2,000 people in that cruise. And I'd have to give a huge shout out, especially to the hardworking and very nice and friendly Filipino and Indonesian crew members. They're literally my favorites. Of course I'm biased because I'm Pinoy, but of course you would see how warm, friendly, kind, and enthusiastic and polite, and just literally simply there to give all the guests a beautiful experience. So please be friendly and be nice to all of them. Tip number 11, join and participate in programs. You're there for a vacation, so have fun. And like literally the cruise director, we had an amazing cruise director. His name was Stefan. Like from the morning to noon to evening, he would be hosting all these amazing events and activities, from variety shows to game shows to, club type of dancing, outdoor, indoor. It's just amazing. So yeah, make sure that you take advantage of all the activities and make the most of your cruise experience by joining and learning how to mingle and learning how to talk to people. Tip number 12, if you're sailing through the Bahamas, for example, the beach stopovers are great. And you may not need to have an extra excursion if you're stopping over the Nassau and the Half Moon Cay. Because like literally, the water is just gorgeous. Like that's where I realized that, oh, this is the definition of turquoise, blue, and clear water. It's just beautiful. And they're like literally just lounging around, doing nothing, and basking under the sun. It was the best experience that we've had. So, if you're the type who will just be cool with just chilling, you don't need to book an excursion for the beaches. But if you're the type who would want to, swim with the dolphins and do the snorkeling, then go for it as well. But what I'm just saying is that the beaches are amazing, that you sometimes don't need extra to go extra. Tip number 13, you always need to have your card or your wristband with you all the time, because it's your form of identification, it's your form of paying your bills. So make sure that you always have it with you. Some people are using the lanyard style because they actually put a hole on the cards so you won't lose them. And you just need to hand them over to the crew members every time you're ordering drinks, or if you're going out of the ship to go to the island, for example, the security will be scanning those cards. So make sure that you have that all the time. Don't leave them on your stateroom. Tip number 14, use your credit card miles in booking your domestic flights and also taking advantage of your premium lounge experience. If you have a credit card that really offers all these air miles and also lounge access, do take advantage of it. That's why for me and for Ryan, we saved money from the airline fares that we should have had, because we flew from Boston to Miami and Miami to Boston for free. We like literally rack up our miles all the time. We have only one card, Capital One, and we make sure that all our purchases are like literally on that card so we can take advantage of flights for free. And we also have a priority pass that gives us access to most of the airport lounges. Again, when we're waiting, it's just free food and free drinks at the airport. Tip number 15, watch the sunset at the topmost deck, or if your room has a balcony, watch the sunset there while enjoying your drinks. It's such a beautiful experience, and it's a kind of experience that you won't necessarily be seeing in other types of vacation. Unless you go to Greece, for example, or in Africa, where the sunset and the sunrise are actually very beautiful. But the cruise sunset experience is just amazing. So take advantage of that. Tip number 16, use the gym early in the morning and then head to the breakfast buffet after you work out. We probably ate like 5 to 10,000 calories per day. Like we ate 5 or 6 times a day. Breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, and midnight snack. Like literally, they still have pizza till like 2 in the morning. So we're like, okay, you need to make sure that while you enjoy eating and drinking and living that cruise life, you also take care of your health overall, so you wouldn't feel guilty after the vacation. So we made it a point that every morning, like literally early morning, between 6 and 6:30 a.m., we are at the gym. So we can burn all the calories that we had the day before. And if it's that early, by the way, the gym is like empty. Number 17, maximize the adult-only areas for sunbathing and relaxation. Okay, don't get me wrong. Kids are amazing, especially if you're cruising with a family, then make the most of the kid-friendly area. But if you don't have kids, if you're on your own, and of course you want that peace and quiet, they would always have that adult-only areas, especially on the topmost deck, where you also have your separate whirlpool or, sunbeds. And you really want to take advantage of the peace. And they have a separate bar there. So you want to take advantage of that area, see the sun, experience the cruise quietly, and then take a nap, read a book, make sure that you know where to find the adult areas so that you can take advantage of the amenities there. Tip number 18, socialize, mingle, exchange stories, and be friendly with your co-cruisers. So for us, we've met a bunch of people randomly at the bar. They had this LGBTQ plus mixers as well, that they arrange mini events that you can get to meet, like-minded people and exchange stories. You'll be with those 2,000 people for 5 solid nights. So might as well, be social, talk to everyone, because all of you are in that same mindset of simply enjoying and simply experiencing the best that the cruise has to offer. So make the most of it and make sure that, you're friendly to everyone as well, because you're there to have fun. Tip number 9, participate in the raffle and the games and all of the promotions. I won a $100 gift certificate at the spa on the first day. And Ryan also won on the Deal or No Deal game a $60 credit for the casino that we were able to use. I mean, like literally, we don't play at the casinos, but since they've given us that free credit, might as well, have some time at the slot machine for free. We literally didn't pay for it. So there are a lot of promotions that you can take advantage of and join just for the fun of it. And if you win, then you get something. And finally, tip number 20, you need an extra day or 2 after the cruise to relax, to recuperate, and to just feel yourself again. Again, don't get me wrong, cruise is amazing. The adventure is fun. The vacation is great. But this is the type of vacation I felt, probably it's also the age, that you would need another vacation after the vacation, because the 5 days literally packed. And since we went to the Bahamas, it's the sun is up. And sometimes when you're exposed in the sun, it's kind of tiring a bit. It kind of drains you. So it's actually quite good that we have Saturday and Sunday to recuperate before going back to work for me tomorrow on Monday. Literally, this is my Sunday. So it also gave me the opportunity to unpack, to fix the laundry stuff, to do some of the household chores, and to shoot this vlog. But yeah, it's also something to consider, especially if you have work the following day. Probably that's not a good idea. So those are the top 20 hot tips for a first-time cruiser. If you have more questions, feel free to put them down in the comments section and we'll answer them. And we hope that as you consider your first cruise, you'll also have an amazing time. It is great. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And just remember to experience it with an open mind and with an open heart. Embrace all the amazing journeys and memories that you're gonna get from the cruise itself, and just simply make the most of it. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for watching this video.